person was talking about. Just recently, brother was killed inside of Bodega. Bodega is known for running numbers. A lot of illegal activities going on inside of businesses all along the Ave. The question is, since, many years ago you had people investigating, going into different stores, seeing if they were shoddy and everything else like that. Quality of life issues are causing crimes inside of the city. Could the city look into putting an investment into getting people into investigate illegal activities inside of businesses? And could the different departments, human services and everywhere else, can they employ people inside of the community to assist the city in helping with quality of life crimes? And for quality of life crimes such as loitering and things like that, can we create ordinances and continue to enforce things that's on the books to constantly, address these type of issues? Because bottom line is this: you can put people on detail up and down the avenue, and they're still there. Is there ways to do things like, okay, if I find you and I ticket you, just like if I'm double parked, if I don't pay my ticket, all of a sudden I lose my driver's license. But folks constantly cause mischief and mayhem, and they don't get a fine, they don't get a summons, they don't get a ticket. I guarantee if you do things like what happened inside of New York City Times Square was cleaned up because they got rid of the quality of life issues. If we're going to do something in Jersey City, we're going to have to clean up the community with legislation Could there be a renewed effort on truancy, a renewed effort on curfews? Now, I would be willing to work with curfew officers at 10 o'clock when people have to be inside of the house. If you employ people from different schools all throughout this city, and you say, I'm on that van, get your behind inside of the house because Mr. Gatson is right there riding with you. Can you employ people throughout the city in those targeted areas, faces that people see all along, that will assist the community in helping to address some of these quality of life issues? So, if we're all serious on this, there's a lot of resources inside of this room, and people are willing to actually do it. There's clergy, there's people who have running mentorship programs, there's people doing a lot of things already that if you just ask them, they would actually do it. They would sacrifice their time and they would be assist. So the question is, well, how can we further assist? Or like we ask, well, how can the police, what do you want us to do? Give us the venues and the avenues, create it, and then let us do that. And then the last thing is, inside of New York, like last Thursday, when this girl got raped, Saturday and Sunday night, can you find these individuals? There's not enough dialogue about who's wanted or who's doing these things, and you're not trusting us enough to have enough courage to say that that person did it. I know that person. Now, the person who's been educated in Jersey City, I know shooters, and I know people who are actually shooting. If you put that person's face on that, I'll run down there myself, and I tell you, that's so-and-so, he lives on this particular address. You got to empower people to actually do it. You got to entrust us with the information. We'll help you out, whatever, and do it. Because I worked with many SROs inside of Lincoln that if you said, who's that? Oh, that's so-and-so. Now, you go ahead and get them because that's your job. I just actually give you that information. I'll snitch if I have to. But you got to give people the opportunity to snitch. And I don't think there's enough information going around allowing us to do that inside of the community.
Chris, let me ask
Chris!
So, you're right? Since I got elected, I always stress that we talk about that 85% of constituents complain in the ward is quality of life issue. Sitting at my second job, on my 2 days a week, every day, I'm in the West District, sitting with Captain Kelly and Lieutenant Booters to talk about how we're going to address issue with more police patrol, more CCTV camera. Over a couple of weeks, speaking with the public safety director and the mayor, we have more foot patrol. You and I spoke last week. I will work with you. You and I are going to come up with a plan. And the brother in the back as well, he came to my office. We're going to sit. We're going to come up with a plan to work together to make sure that we have a game plan in place and how you guys can work with me and I can work with you as well. related to get in touch with the mayor. Like I said to you last week in the office, once we have that meeting and we need the mayor there, I will make sure the mayor attend the meeting. But if it's something that I could help you with, I will. Yeah.
Right, right.
Last week it was in my office.
And that
happens a lot with
He's an elected official, so when I want him there, he's supposed to be there. And I've made more than enough effort to make, and it's only reasonable, since I want to be active in the community. That's number one. Number two, Mayor, you actually mentioned earlier about other things that we can do. Well, you're putting in crime victims that are raped, or people that are coming out of jail when they're raped. You're putting that put it in the paper when they're being released and they got 7 gun charges, or they got 12 gun charges.
Let me tell you.
Maybe
Let me tell you.
right back in here.
Okay, so let me tell you kind of the challenge with that. So, and I apologize if I did. I'm very responsive on email. I think most in the room has emailed me at some point. I do respond. I didn't get it. I apologize. I'm happy to give you my email before we leave, and we'll set something up. It certainly wasn't intended by any stretch of the imagination. Okay. The challenge is always, okay, there is a cycle that when that individual is either released or shot, okay, there is always, we defer when they're released that they are ultimately starting their life over. That is the benefit of the doubt that they deserve after doing time, ultimately. And we defer to that. It wouldn't be proper to put their face in the Jersey Journal and say this person was released. We advise the police department ultimately, and we operate from a standpoint of trusting but verifying ultimately. When a person is shot and ultimately killed, once again, we do not want to sit there and go back and forth with the family, disrespectful, the person can't defend themselves, and ultimately what always happens is you'll get the parents that come forward, they will say that he's a good kid, that he was doing the right thing, you will see memorial in the Jersey Journal, it's not accidental that it's red or blue with balloons and all that sort of stuff, and we collectively up here try to be respectful and not go out there against somebody who can't defend themselves. So it is a tough situation for us to balance ultimately, and I think that we do it properly. So that's kind of ultimately where we are on that front. I will give you my email before we go, and we will certainly go from there. I promise to Chris,
Okay.
well,
I promise.